Welcome back to another nerf video today, but today is going to be a pretty different nerf video. Now, of course, we have to talk about nerf blasters when we're making a nerf blaster video, because what's a nerf blaster video without them? But I thought to myself, what are the worst magazines you could possibly use in a nerf battle? Now, sure, there was a lot of iconic magazines, like the 18-rounder magazine. You've also got the 6-rounder magazine, and then of course you got the 12-rounder magazine. These are all great magazines, but we're looking for the opposite of great. So, I handpicked out 3 magazines that I thought were the worst magazines ever, in no particular order. So, here we go. Now, what is the first magazine that I consider a bad magazine? Alright, so I just mentioned the 6-rounder magazine, an iconic staple for any sniper rifle like the Long Shot or the Long Strike. Now you must be thinking, Ben, there's no way you're gonna put the 6-rounder magazine as a bad magazine. No, I'm not gonna put the 6-round magazine in the list of 3 bad magazines. I'm talking about the clear 6-round magazine. You must be thinking, okay, they're the exact same, except that it's clear. What's the difference? Alright. So, other magazines, like the 12-round magazine and the 18-rounder magazine, they've made clear magazines for them. And, here's the thing. When you put down your rounds in, and, what's the... Oh, there's the dart box. Sorry. Oh, come on, there we go. Alright. When you put in your rounds, and then you put your Nerf blaster in, you can see how much darts you have. Wait, let me add in a little bit more so you can see better. Okay, this should be good enough. You can take a look at like half of the amount of rounds that you have. It's not every single round you have that you can look at, but you can still get a good idea of how much rounds that you have in your magazine and in your blaster. Let me do it for the 12-round magazine, because it does the same thing. And just grab all the darts. Alright. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and where is dart number 10? You know what, let's do this for now. You know, let's fully load the magazine. 10, 11, and 12. Alright, here we go. So, fully loaded 12-round magazine. And is the gun jammed? No, it's not jammed. The recon is not jammed. When you have your 12-rounder fully loaded, you can see some of the Nerf darts that are in your magazine. Let me unload real quick, and you can also see the darts in action while they're going through the magazine. Okay, let me get a good angle of this. There we go. Maybe this. Yeah, this is good enough. So yeah. The 18-rounders and the 12-rounders, you can see how many darts you have. Well, kind of. For the 6-round magazine, you cannot see how many rounds you have. Look. All of the darts that are in your magazine, you cannot see at all. You can't even see half of your darts with this magazine, because when I fully load up this magazine, and then I put in my darts, you can't see any of your darts unless if you turn your magazine in a 90-degree angle, and then you still can't even see you still can't even see your darts. Because of the mechanism, because of the barrier that is holding your darts, rendering this magazine completely useless. Except for one thing. Yes, you can see how much darts that you have in your magazine while you're reloading. A problem that almost every single magazine has is that most of the time sometimes you don't even know how much darts you have in your magazine. So you take all your darts out, recount them, make sure you have them all in there. With the 6-rounder magazine, you don't need to worry about recounting your darts. You can just do 1, 2, 3, and then be done with. However, this magazine, the 6-rounder clear magazine, goes against everything of what clear magazines are meant for. To see how many darts that you have in your magazine while in your blaster. Which is why I think the 6-round clear magazine is one of the worst magazines ever made. Now, before you scream at me, don't think I forgot about the Centurion 6-rounder magazine. You can kind of see how much darts are in there. You can only see one dart, but at least you can see something in your magazine while you are about to fire. And that's why I decided to disclude the 6-rounder Centurion magazine out of the list. Alright. Now it's time to talk about rival magazines. Okay. So, I have 2 rival magazines, but one of them is bad. This is the iconic Apollo 7-rounder magazine. One of the most iconic magazines that have ever been made. The first ever rifle magazine. The Apollo 7-rounder. It holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But thankfully, I am not going to be talking about the 7-rounder magazine from the Apollo. I'm talking about the Mirage's 8-round magazine. First of all, first red flag, it looks way too long to be an 8-rounder magazine. And if you don't believe me, that you might think I'm crazy. Ben, this is definitely not 8 rounds. Well, let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep dropping them. And that was 7, I think. Hold on a second. Like I just said before, one of the problems with magazines is that you have to take all of them out so you can recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I press down, you can only fit a 9th one in there. It's meant to hold 8 rounds, but you can hold in 9. But this looks like that you can hold either 10 to 12. This at maximum can hold 9 rounds. At maximum. Well, it's supposed to hold 8. It's an 8-rounder magazine, but you can hold 9 in this. Even though that this magazine looks very long, and you can hold 8 rounds. Well, you're supposed to hold 8, but you can hold 9 at maximum. So why not just use something like a 12 or 10 or 12 or 14 rounder magazine? Or you can just be a minimalist and then use a 7-rounder magazine. I don't get it. Look at how... Sorry. The saliva almost got me. Look at how long these magazines are in comparison. Look at how much extra space there is compared to these two magazines. Let me show you a visual of the 7-rounder again. Why, if I drop one more rifle round, I am going to lose my marbles. No pun intended. You see? Look at how long. Sorry. Look at the 7-rounder that's fully loaded. It makes sense. It makes sense. Now I know you can't see how many rifle rounds are in this magazine, so I guess I'll do this. Let me take all the rifle rounds out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And look at all that extra space. Look at all of that extra space. There's so much extra space in this magazine. And again, like I said, it looks like it can hold either 10 to 12 rounds. But no. It only holds 8 rounds. Well, at least it's supposed to only hold 8 rounds. It can only hold 9 rounds at maximum. Even though it looks like you can hold either 10 to 12 rounds in this magazine. So if you want to have a magazine, a rifle magazine that is under 10 rounds, go with the Apollo 7-rounder for your own sake. And the last one, it should be pretty obvious. If you use magazine blasters a lot like me, then the last one should be pretty obvious. It's every single drum magazine. No question at all. You ask me what's the worst magazine to use in Nerf War? It's a drum magazine. Jams a lot, a pain in the butt to reload, and don't even get me started on when the darts get stuck. If darts get stuck, you have to twist this handle like it's a wind-up toy, only God knows how many times, in order for the dart barrier to pop up, and then to use the next dart. I can't tell you how many jams I have experienced with drum magazines. Sure, I only have the 25-rounder magazine. I have 2 25-rounder magazines. But if you're using like a fully automatic blaster, this will work. But a semi-auto doesn't work that well. Even the springers don't even work this well with drum magazines. Drum magazines are a pain in the butt. If you want to use a high-capacity magazine that doesn't jam a lot, you go with an 18-rounder. Sure, you have to tap it a little bit so the dart barrier can go up, but it doesn't really jam that much. And those occurrences aren't really common. But jams with the 12-rounder magazine, with the 25-rounder magazine and up, occur frequently. Do not use drum magazines. If you're going to use a high-capacity magazine, use an 18-rounder. Alright, so that is my video on the worst magazines ever made by Nerf. So, if you want to see more videos like this, more Nerf Blaster content, but not actually about Nerf Blasters, like more like ammunition and stuff, like more magazines, then make sure you like, subscribe, and, well, might as well do whatever with this video. Send it to your friends, send it to your mother, send it to your father, maybe send it to some family members. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.